Well, hello everybody, and welcome to the stream. I am joined by my guest today, Starlight.
Starlight Pumpkins.
That's right. I had to
And
make
I
sure.
like deep. I don't remember what ice cream flavor I like, but I like ice cream.
I had to make sure that my desktop audio was working because I'm not the smartest person, but it is working, so we're good. And we're just bringing some random conversation today. I'm in just chatting, so you never know where this could go. Could stay on politics, could get off politics, could go on to ice cream, Joe Biden's diapers, Resident Evil.
There's a lot there's a lot of things on my mind I've never been able to really talk about. So yeah, it could go anywhere.
Hey, welcome, Queen. Oh man, yeah, it could just go anywhere. So we're just starting with the polls here. I'm just gonna cover those real quick. So let's go ahead and I'll get into those.
I'm actually ignorant, Caster. I don't remember when does the primary election take place.
It takes place in I think it's like I think it starts in February
Uh-huh.
and then it goes through like March and April. So there
Gotcha.
are some late primaries, but you kind of know by the time, like, because Florida is one of the late states, Michigan's one of the late. You kind of know like what's going on, by the time you get to those states. So
And before we get into the polls, just a quick question: like, has Kanye West announced anything? Because I know he tried to run in 2020 and wasn't able to get on the ballot in certain states. So I'm just wondering if he's announced a campaign or anything.
not that I'm aware of. I mean, the only place he could probably really announce it would be like on oh, what's that guy's show? Like, I know Alex Jones has had him on before, but I don't know that Alex Jones would have him on again because Kanye kind of like hijacked his show. I know Tim Pool had him on, and then
It was funny when he was on Alex Jones because he really made Alex Jones sweat.
I know. Well, that's the thing is like both him and the guy I'm thinking of, and I can't think of America First. Nick something.
I think I know. Is it Nick? Yeah, Nick.
Nick Fuentes.
I know who you're
That's who it is. Yeah. So, like, unless he's gonna do it on there, I don't think he's gonna do it. You know what I mean?
like, so he's so what you say at pretty much at this point he's been like blacklisted from the media.
He was even debanked by Chase. I mean, like he
Really?
banked. Yeah, he banked with Chase, and Chase was like, "No, we're not gonna have you as a customer anymore." You wanted to see how political you get. Well, today this is a just chatting stream, so generally on Sundays we have I have a more structured show. I have a more structured show on Sundays, which does different topics and different types of
What goes on in the week? It's
yeah,
called the weekly roundup.
yeah, it's called the Weekly Roundup. So there I get a little bit probably more political, and a little bit more chatty about certain topics and whatnot. Today is more of just a chatting and seeing where we are, and I'm just starting with the polls because it's an easy topic to talk about, and it's really easy to get sidetracked, and that's what we're hoping for today is we're going to get sidetracked and get some.
Although the last one of these we did was pretty politically charged.
Yeah.
Because I mean, in general, like I don't know about you, Caster, but in general, like in the past I used to talk about politics a lot with other people. One time had a 12-hour phone call about politics. Like I'm a pretty politically charged person.
Yeah. So it's easy. It's easy to get into politics, but it's not going to be structured today where I have a bunch of stories I want to talk about and whatnot. So that's what we've got. But just to start on the polls, so Trump is still way out in the lead, obviously. We've got him at 57% versus DeSantis at 18.
18?
Yeah, so triple, a little bit more than triple his nearest competitor. And then we've got him in another poll. He's at 55, and DeSantis at 16. Biden is at 72, and his nearest competitor is at 13.
And who's Biden's nearest competitor?
It is RFK. So, somebody that gets into a lot of, was kind of a rising star during COVID, I would say. We'll say that. So, because he didn't go along with the COVID narrative, but he is a Democrat, so he does have his own pool of people that would vote for him, but we all know the DNC is not going to let that happen, right?
Yeah, they don't like people to ruffle the feather duster.
Right.
I'm surprised, though. I'm surprised DeSantis is at 16%.
Did you think he would be higher?
Yes. I thought he would have been a viable alternative to Trump.
Well, I think he missed... There's been some problems with this campaign, and I know I've mentioned them a couple times before, but he's actually fired, I think, or relaunched his campaign twice already, and he hasn't had a campaign that long. Like, it's just been about May or June, right, that he entered. So when you smell weakness, a lot of people just end up going, especially if you're just a diehard Republican. A lot of people are going to be like, you know what? I don't want to be with the weak guy. I don't want to be with somebody that can't win. I want to be with the winner. So they, some of your soft support is going to head on over to Trump just for that reason alone. When is the... I want to see. When is the... There's a Republican debate coming up pretty soon. Let's see when that is.
Yeah, it's going to be a hoot. I can feel all the candidates just all dogpiling on Trump.
Yeah.
Like what happened with Bernie.
August 23rd, so next week. Exactly 1 week from today. Oh, did I? What am I doing? Oh, I went in the wrong. Oops. And now our... Okay, there we go. So the Discord camera also has a little issue. Like, if it's off screen for too long, it'll just disappear you from stream, I mean. But yeah, so 1 week from today is the first GOP debate. So I don't think Trump is going to be in it. And for some reason it's in Milwaukee. Also, let's talk about this, because this is hilarious. So they actually, I guess to participate in this debate, they actually had to sign a pledge.
What?
Yeah, and it said something like it was a loyalty pledge. Actually, let's look it up. Let's see if we can look it up.
Let's read the pledge, Caster. Let's delve into this.
Yeah, let's read it. And actually, I'm gonna put the camera on the other screen so that way we won't disappear. Okay. So this story from Politico says, the Republican National Committee wants qualifying candidates to sign a pledge backing the eventual GOP presidential nominee ahead of the first debate, a request that's rubbed several of those running the wrong way. So, essentially, they really want everybody that's participating to be like, okay, we're going to have a debate, but whoever the nominee is, you got to support him. Like, that's this is what I mean when I say Republicans are just terrible at strategy. Like, can you imagine, like, signing this? Like, even though you lost.
Is that? I don't even think that would be even enforceable.
No. I mean, what are you going to do? You can't really.
I mean, I
punish
guess they could get booted out of the party.
Yeah, but that's just. I mean, there's people that are all over the map. Like, you'd have to support them. That kind of doesn't make sense to me.
So I'd like to know how do they define support? Like, what would you have to do to support the winner?
I don't know. I guess you'd have to. Well,
Like, it sounds like they're gonna Shanghai you and make a campaign for them.
okay, let's see. This story might have something more on it. We'll have to sign a pledge promising to support whoever wins the nomination. Ronna McDaniel said, "We're saying you're not going to get on the debate stage unless you make this pledge," McDaniel said during an interview with CNN's Dana Bash on State of the Union. McDaniel, who recently won her 4th term as RNC chair after a contentious battle against Harmeet Dillon, said that Republican voters are tired of infighting within the party and want to see us come together. Okay.
That doesn't make any sense, because usually what I see from the GOP is usually everyone kind of bends the knee and supports the candidate anyway. Or like that, it happened with Trump. Like, everyone was against Trump, and then once he got the nomination, they all kind of like fell in line behind him.
It's just kind of like, what on earth? Like, this just seems like why the GOP would lose. Like, you're saying that people that disagree and are going to be attacking each other on stage, they just need to suck it up and just support the person that might have caused them to lose, or launched an unfair attack on them or whatever. They just have to suck it up and support them. And for me, it's like, I don't know what these people, heading into the debate, I don't necessarily know what they're going to say. Why am I pledging to support somebody I'm just not interested in? You know what I mean? Like, I'm just not, I mean, our views align more with each other's than Joe Biden's, therefore I'm going to support. I mean, I could say that about either Joe Biden or Donald Trump, and I won't be voting for either of them. So why would this just doesn't make any sense to me.
I could only wish that the debatees just bound together and just boycotted it.
Yeah, I kind of agree. I don't think they will. I think most of them have already signed it. Could you imagine Mike Pence taking a stand against this?
I mean, like I said before, I mean, there's no way it's enforceable.
Right, like, what are they going to do? Kick you out of the party?
And if they actually did kick you out of the party, that would just be even a bigger disaster for the GOP.
I know. Like, Anyway. Well, Ronna McDaniel's terrible anyway. I mean, she's just really bad at strategy. The GOP hasn't won anything, really, since she's been the chair. How you doing, Chewy? What's going on?
Yo, welcome in, Chewy.
Chewy Lel. Alright, so Biden's approval is still sitting at... Huh?
Oh, you're talking about Biden approval. Like, because Chewy coming in got me thinking about a topic.
Did he? Did it?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. I'll let you finish up on your Biden poll.
Oh, just holding steady. 42-54, 42-52, 39-55. Just the same numbers he's been sitting at for months. I think that's pretty much going to just be a given for the rest of the term. Unless something crazy happens.
Now, before I get into the little topic that came up in my head, I just want to ask you a question, just see your thoughts on this. Like, How do you feel Biden's health will hold up until his second term, if he wins the second term? Do you think he'll be sort of just a complete potato at some point in his second term? Or, like, how do you see his health progressing? Because it seems like he's on the decline, personally.
No, I just think it's gonna be him, um, being filled with super drugs until at least 2024. Like they're gonna get him over the finish line. You know what I mean? And then whatever happens in 2025 and beyond is, okay. You like we'll let Kamala take over. We'll do whatever. But yeah, no, they're gonna get him over the finish line.
I wonder how Kamala would be when it comes to foreign policy.
Probably pretty terrible.
Worse than Biden, would you say? Or Obama?
Uh yeah, probably. I mean, I think Biden kind of knows people, like, and has a lot of seeds planted, and I don't think Kamala has that same advantage. Like, I mean, I think they'll be comparable. I just think that Biden is probably a little bit more well known. I mean, he's been around for so long and just has so many ties to, different countries and governments, and I don't think Kamala has that same advantage.
I see.
Somehow tomorrow's polls are out today. It says Thursday, August 17th at the top. So, so there's that. What was the topic that you were going to bring up?
Chewy Lel, everyone, I'm sure a lot of, well, actually, I don't know about this chat in particular, but Chewy Lel, he's a pretty notorious bully. And it just got me thinking about the topic of bullying in schools, and how would you solve the issue? Because I feel like schools nowadays, they kind of just weaken the student, because the best way, in my opinion, to combat a bully is just to physically assault him. Like, I think children should be able to do that and not face, adult level consequences. Like, what's your take on that?
Well,
Do you think there should be more leniency in schools regarding issues like that?
well, on a fundamental level, I think that public schools shouldn't exist. So if I have to say, that I want public school, or, that I think that they should be tougher, it's like, well, yeah, just send them home, and then, like, everybody stays home and nobody bullies each other because everybody's either homeschooled or, sent to a, community school where they can pretty much, where parents directly control, everything, and you don't have that same level. I think that what public schools, if I have to work within that framing, I think what public schools should do is encourage a lot more parental involvement with the kids, because when you have a lot of parental involvement, you have eyes pretty much everywhere. And, generally people are bullied for being different or whatnot. And so when you have more parental involvement and you see what kids are saying about your kid and what they're doing and how they're being treated, you have more direct control over how to, get that behavior corrected. So what I mean by that is, if you've got somebody perpetually bullying, just kids on the playground for their lunch money or whatever, well, if the parents are involved, then that kid will be isolated, essentially, because, so many people will be complaining about one particular name, and then that kid will have to essentially be interviewed and kind of figure out the root of the problem of what they're doing, and why they're doing it. And then, what it's probably going to come to is, a bad home life and all that